Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Attention Span Labs. In this episode, a mysterious package appears. But I'm also going to be talking about a new series, continuing series I'm going to be doing because I'm lazy, which is going to be kind of like a hobby vlog where I'm just going to talk about the stuff I'm doing and showing you what I'm working on in terms of crafting, in terms of gaming, kinds of stuff like that. So we'll be showing you some new kits I got, a few things I painted and so forth. I have my son Victor here joining me. Say hi, Victor.
Hi, Victor.
Right on cue. So he'll be playing with G.I. Joes in the background, probably messing with my trees, but yeah, so hold on, buddy. But I was sent this package in the mail. You can see it says, "Do not open until the camera is running." The camera is running. I've had this for several days now. Been eager to open it, but haven't had the opportunity. So now I'm making the opportunity. Now this was sent to me by Mr. Wargaming, John Mollison, of the Joy of Wargaming channel, which I hope you are a regular viewer of. I know that many of the people that I talk to in my own comment section, I see commenting over there too, so I know that there's quite a bit of crossover now. I talked to John on MeWe and asked about doing some sort of collaboration with him. And he sent me this package. We haven't really hashed out what the collaboration is. Maybe there's some clue that he has given me here. But yeah, if you're not watching John's channel, The Joy of Wargaming, he's very prolific. He's not at all lazy like I am. And you should definitely check out his channel. He's a great guy. I've known him for several years over on MeWe. He's in a lot of the role-playing and wargaming groups I'm in. He's just a really cool guy. His videos are great. The name of his channel, The Joy of Wargaming, and its reference to the joy of painting is completely legitimate. He is a very, very cool, laid-back, relaxing guy. You can watch his videos without a lot of stress and strife going on. I guess that could be because of he lives in a tropical paradise. It could just be because he's an upright Christian man. But in any case, I definitely recommend you check out his channel. And before we get into the vlogging, we're going to open this because I don't want to be like those other YouTubers that make you wait till the end to see the thing that you actually tuned in for. So stand by. All right. Okay, I have my knife here, so I'm going to cut this and then put it away so my son doesn't grab hold of it. Let's see what is in here.
Wait, Dad.
It says, I'm trying to read this through the camera. Make sure you can see it. Okay. Attention Span Labs. It felt strange painting these enormous figures. Here is hoping they serve you well as Herr Dictator's Secret Wolf Service and Conflict 47 games. Thank you for all the fine vids. Now you have to pay it forward by putting together a fun little project for a YouTube wargamer whose work you enjoy and tell him to do the same. Your pal, Mr. Wargaming. Well, now this is exciting, especially because he said they're painted. As you all know how lazy I am. I just said that. Yeah, Victor, look. Oh. Well, look at... Okay. Oh, my son is muscling in on the camera here, so sorry if it shakes. Look at these. Look at these, Vic. Yeah. Well, am I glad I didn't go and buy the Werewolf Women of the SS set from Warlord Games, because... Let's see if I zoom in on that. All right, Vic. All right, you got it. Can you see that? What's the focal length of this camera? We got indeed a werewolf woman, finely painted. Now I feel real bad because I was just going to send him unpainted miniatures. And, oh, excellent. A female German officer of the sinister sort. Absolutely beautiful. And I will use them in my Conflict 47 German force, which if you've been following the community tab, you'll know that I have been working on already. And I've been making a Girls und Panzer inspired army where I've been customizing my own female tank commanders for my Panzer force and painting them in lurid colors. Well, thank you, Mr. Wargaming. And there will be, if you watch his channel in the next few weeks, hopefully you'll see what I sent him. These are great. Thank you very much, John. Very excited to put these on the table. Haven't actually played as the Germans yet. But I need to actually, I'm actually working on my the Schreckwolfen unit. So I'll show you those in just a minute and see how they compare in size. But I have to finish painting those. I have a couple of vehicles painted, but almost no infantry. So it'll be good to get those on the table. Okay, as promised, I broke out my Warlord Games Clockwork Goblin Schreckwolfen from Conflict 47 to do a side-by-side comparison. Of course, you know, they're not finished painting, but actually very, very, very good paint job on these. Very nice basing. Their bases are quite a bit taller than the... I'm not complaining, by the way. These are awesome. Anytime I get excellent-looking figures and don't have to paint them, I'm extremely satisfied. But I'm just saying they'll stand out nicely. You can see one of them is there's the crew, which I have a whole backstory for, which I'll talk about in another vlog. Because unlike the American army I built, my German army has a very, very detailed... Hold on, Victor, don't grab them now. Has a very detailed backstory and a definite theme behind it, which has made the collection and also the painting and assembly process much more interesting and sort of creatively fulfilling than just going through factory style painting up an army. And I'll be doing several videos in this vlog series like that, but that'll explain more of the details about it. But yeah, these are going to be a very nice addition to my army. And here I'm also going to show, for a size comparison, rather impressive werewolf there against my Girls und Panzer 4. Yeah, you know, bang bang, pow pow. Okay, Vic. The Yellow Rose of Lohar, which again will get its own video. Just so you get a peek at it right now. I'm going to sedate my son, and then I'll get right back to you with the rest of the vlog. Speaking of Conflict 47, by the way, I was able to actually get a game in this past weekend with my friend Russ, who has a Russian army. Go figure, I guess he was... I assume there was some greater logic behind it, but now that I think about it, it's probably just he thought Russ should play the Russians. Let me know in the comments if I'm right there, buddy. Russ is notorious for not painting his miniatures, but he actually went so far as to prime them, which was very flattering indeed. So we had a tank battle because most of the force that he has finished or tanks, and so we had two tank platoons with minimal infantry square off against each other, and this was very satisfying for me. As you can see, by the way, the table has been reconfigured since the last time you saw it, the GeoHex table. For a more sort of equitable battle. Change the course of the river, move a lot of the terrain around. But the objective was to capture that bridge over there, that Sarissa box girder bridge. Ignore the big toy car over there. That wasn't there. This was a very enjoyable battle for me because I actually won this one. This was the first Conflict 47 battle that I won. I think in the several that I played... Well, that's not true. Let me put it this way. This is the first Conflict 47 video that I won with my own army. I won one playing another guy's German army. But every other battle I played so far, I either lost narrowly, drawed, got routed, or had to end the game before it was concluded. But this was fun. This was a complete rout. I completely slaughtered the Russians. I took out his sole infantry force with a lucky shot when his heavy infantry were in cover. I hit them with a heavy howitzer, inflicted 9 wounds. And my son just handed me an Eldar figure that he broke. Thanks, buddy. It's all right. Hey, that happens, right?
Okay.
And but yeah, it was good. Very, very enjoyable to play. I think it's very good in hobby terms too. When you're crafting and painting and you're building an army and stuff like that, every so often you have to stop and actually play the game because you have to feel like you're not just slaving away at some project, but you're working to some end. And it's fun to have some steam. One of the things that we picked up, and this is one of the rare hobby tips I'm going to give you.
My doors.
Oh no, my doors. I was going to show that later, but since Victor brings it up, before I show you my trick. Okay, bud, can you move your hand out of the camera? I found this. This is my Weapons and Warriors tower. Oh yes, he did break the doors off. Anyway, this is my weapons and Warriors tower that I had. So I put the doors on here since this would be the mid '90s, I guess. Weapons and Warriors was a game. It's more of a board game than a miniature war game, I guess. Even though there were miniature figures. Hold on, buddy. Let me show it to the audience. And it was sort of like a new take on crossbows and catapults if you had that excellent old game. But you're supposed to, it had all kind of destroyable terrain that you'd shoot with trebuchets and stuff like that and cannons. And but I'm going to, this has pretty nice details on it. And in this window, glue it up, painted, put some ivy on it, use it as a piece of fantasy terrain. Okay, bud, you can take the castle. All right, so this is my hobby hot tip. This is a medicine bottle. And we are fortunate enough or wise enough in my family that we almost never get any kind of prescriptions. So I actually bought these bottles off Big Box Superstore many months ago, actually, to make the homemade kill a can that one of the audience suggested I make. But these are cool because and my friend Russ suggested them for this. These can hold those damage markers, the small based 25mm based damage markers that Warlord gives you with every bolt action vehicle you get. They usually give you a fire, black smoke, and a white smoke to indicate burning vehicles, destroyed vehicles, smoke mortars, and so forth. But I have a crap ton of these, and they get stuck on tree branches, they get wrapped around each other, they get pulled, they get torn, but they fit just perfectly in here. Now I'm going to credit Russ with this idea, although he seems to doubt his own ingenuity and says that he saw it on okay, bud, thanks, on another YouTube video, but he doesn't remember who it was. So if you are that YouTuber, let me know in the comments. Next up, continuing on the World War II theme, I got some models for 40% off at Hobby Lobby. Now, these, of course, are not 1/56 scale, because they just don't make 1/56 scale, except for Wargaming.
Whoa.
And these are 1/48 scale. This is an F4U Corsair, but they're close enough because we've talked about this before. You know what I'm talking about. The miniatures are actually a little bigger than 1/56 scale, so 1/48 is not too bad. The Corsair, I got Mustang. So the Corsair and the Mustang at 40% off for like $11. And I also got oops, zoom out a bit. I got a B-25 Mitchell or I guess a PBJ, depending on how I want to paint it. Now, I think that these are going to be painted, built and painted as terrain pieces, although I can also mount them. Vic, excuse me for a minute? Thank you. They would be nice centerpiece on the table if I build an airstrip, a specific airstrip especially. Vic, excuse me.
There's an airplane.
Yeah, it is an aeroplane. That it is. And there'll be nice pieces of terrain to fight over. But I could also stick them... Okay, bud, thanks. Hey, I'm trying to show the airplane here, buddy. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I can also stick them on like a dowel and have them bombing the field when I call it an airstrike. And there's Stitch. Stitch says hi.
What?
Having technical difficulties here. I'll be right back. So the other alternative, of course, is to have them be crashed. But I have this. This is actually a training aircraft, but I picked up $5. I think I showed it to you before. But I'm going to have this one crashed. I've been looking at pictures. Okay, Stitch. Excuse me. I've been looking at pictures of crashed World War II airplanes to get some ideas of how this is going to look. I'm thinking I'm going to have it set in some shallow water, kind of tilted off to the side with one of the wings mostly underwater. Going to saw off the front part of the fuselage. You see a lot of planes when they crash land. The front.
Take it off.
Are you singing Diggy Diggy Hole? This isn't dwarf time. This is always dwarf time. So yeah, crashed airplane, probably in water. That should be fun to do. Look forward to that piece of terrain, along with all the other stuff. The other World War II stuff I'm working on, the hobby vlogging in the future. I'll also be doing some episodes on the fantasy miniatures that you saw before. Probably none with Stitch again. We'll see. Or there could be some Eldar Guardians though in the future. One other note. Outside of the wargaming front, I'll say that I have been playing a bunch. We've been finally getting back to playing RPGs regularly. Since my daughter was born back in August, we had a pretty long hiatus. But in the game that... So I play... Vic, excuse me. Don't pull the camera down. All right. So I play in a D&D 5th edition game, but I GM a Sword of Cepheus fantasy. Sword of Cepheus is basically Traveler adapted to fantasy, and that game has been going on for like a year and a half now. And we started that back up again, and we did a couple changes to it. One is that I adapted the One Ring journey system to it, so we don't always role play hex crawls when we're trying to get from place to place. That has been a smashing success. And the other thing is that we went to one time, which if you're not familiar with that, just search for one-to-one time in RPGs. Read some of Jeffro Johnson's Trollopolis blogs, and actually check out John Mollison's videos. All right, buddy, please. You're going to knock the camera down. Check out the Trollopolis videos on the Joy Wargaming channel. Watch John incorporate miniature wargaming into RPGs to do mass battles in the way that God and Gary Gygax always intended. So that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you next time. Victor, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye.